Welcome to the Service MVP Podcast. This is where you go to learn how to use pure motive service to create higher value to grow your results. And now, here is your host, America's Service Sales Coach, Joe Crisara.
Welcome to the Service MVP Podcast, and my name is Joe Crisara, America's Service Sales Coach. And I have with me one of my greatest heroes in the influence and persuasion area. His name is Dr. Clotaire Rapaille. He is the famous author of the book, The Culture Code, which I definitely highly recommend everybody get both the book and the audio book as well. Dr. Rapaille has guided many Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies to achieve success. He has been involved with many significant projects in history, such as developing the PT Cruiser and some of the things that would be needed on some highly effective automobiles. Now, the Culture Code identifies subconscious cultural triggers that influence behavior. So what unique codes do you think exist for blue-collar businesses? We have heating, air conditioning, plumbers, electricians, and garage door, like all kinds of in-home professionals. What are some of the codes that you think would be relevant to those kind of businesses? How does this adapt, the adaptation of the material you do, work for those type of professionals?
Yeah, I just went to India working for LG, the Korean company.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into understanding air conditioning for the Indian customer, refrigerator, heating, vacuum cleaner. I mean, all these different home appliances. Yeah? And one of the problems they have over there is that sometimes they break. And so they need to have some people to come and fix it. So that was very interesting to see that in another culture. And then being back in America, where I am a customer, I have all these appliances and I need sometimes people to come and help me with and so it's a very different environment. You see, this is very, very different to understand my position as a customer. I don't want to know about it. So, this is kind of okay, well, so do it and let me work in peace and read my books and write and deal with my clients. But I don't want to know about it. When I have to know about it, that something goes wrong. And so then I start having to worry about different things and, what is it? Do we need a spare part? How much is it going to cost? And so the ideal for the person that is servicing these different products is to make sure that the person doesn't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
You see, this is take that out of my world, take that away from me. I mean, I don't want to think about it. You see, it's the same with my car. You see, I don't want to have to think about fixing it. So they call me and they say, "Oh, doctor, this is time for the service." I say, "Oh, okay, come pick it up." So that's it. You see, but I don't have to think about it. What is interesting for me is that the best service is when you don't have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I did a lot of work for the Ritz-Carlton with Howard Schultz, the president at the time. And what we discover is that when you are in a restaurant at the Ritz-Carlton, the ideal service that you have, you never have to ask for anything. You see, so you don't have to ask for water. There is always water. You don't want to ask for a napkin. There is napkin. I mean, and the best service is to anticipate your needs. Then the client, the customer, the client doesn't have to ask. You see, so that's what is very, very crucial. This notion of the connection.
Yes, I get that. And I think that is a really great benchmark of great service, is doing things before you're asked as opposed to waiting for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the things you explore in the book, which I really found fascinating, was the reptilian brain, which is the inner core that's inside of us that guides us in critical moments of decision. As we start to learn about our clients, and learn about how they would make decisions. Could you expand a little bit on what the reptilian brain, or give us a little bit of a small thumbnail on what that is?
To understand the reptilian brain, you have to compare with the other brains. Huh? So there is the intellectual, the logical, the rational, okay. And so, I mean, this is supposed to be intelligent and it makes a lot of mistakes, of course. But anyway, so then there is a second brain. And the second brain is always a contradiction.
Hmm.
It's tensions. Yeah. I'm not sure. I want, but I don't want. So mothers will tell me, I want my children to grow, but I don't want them to grow. Oh, okay. So at the same time, you say, but
Yeah.
the reptilian is stronger than anything else. I usually say the reptilian brain always wins. It doesn't matter what the situation is. If you can push the reptilian hot button, you win. So you see, mothers, for example, sometimes they ask me, what should I read if I want to make sure that I treat my children the way they're supposed to be treated? Or I say, don't read anything, just follow your guts. You see, and the guts. This is the brain. We know that now. We have many research done on the guts, but this is the brain. This is the most important part of the different brains we have, if you want. And so the reptilian brain is a connection with survival. It's short term. For example, they say you have to do that like this when you're going to be 10 years older. You still have hair. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Because right now I want to know what is going on. Try to explain that to my dog, that he has to do something, and 10 years from now, I mean, the dog is a very reptilian environment because he's here and now. He's here and now. This is the moment. You're not going to tell him, eat this food if he doesn't like the food.
Mhm.
Very simple. For your health, forget it. I mean, it's just so this is the same with children. Most of the time you say, "Oh, this is good for your health." So usually, what is good is bad. That's what the children are telling me all the time. So we don't want something that is supposed to be good. We want something that feels good. Make your mouth water. You want it. So that's what the reptilian is all about. Now, the reptilian is, I don't know, millions of years older than the other brain. It was built in an environment where we didn't have any food. So you have to run and kill an animal to eat some meat. You have to. That situation is not like today. Today, food is everywhere. You see, and so that's why you have to eat too much.
Yeah.
I think if we had to run before to catch a hot dog or hamburger, I mean, we will not be all this health problem here, you see. But we can have as many hot dogs and how many hamburgers and as many anything we want. And so that is the situation. The brain, the reptilian brain always win because you eat too much, even if we don't need it. But on the other hand, there is a disconnect with the reptilian brain. So, for example, we are very sensitive to safety and security.
Mm.
This is very, very important, right?
Yeah.
But in the history of mankind, we've never been so safe. I mean, I know it sounds strange because we speak all the time about there is a war, there is the killing, there is people using guns, there is that. All right. So, but the reality, I mean, there is a professor in Harvard that explained that this is what we say, all the narrative that we have around that create this kind of anxiety. But the reality is very different. If you used to live, I don't know, in medieval time or in the 16th century, situation would have been very, very different. So you see, this is the same thing about living longer, longevity. I mean, today, I'm planning to be 150. That's the plan. So
Yeah.
now, when you organize your life this way, and you are in your 70s, you are in the middle of your life, at least mentally. So we never know. So this is what is interesting: is the perception is reality. The perception is reality. So the service I want from people coming to help me or fix I want them to make me feel good and comfortable and take something out of my worry world. That I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it seems to me like the reptilian brain guides the actions more than the thoughts. Is that a fair way of putting it that way?
Yes, yeah. Action. Again, I'm an American today, and I want you to think that I'm criticizing the American culture, but for me, the experience is on the Western, the movies. You shoot first, and you survive. You shoot first. You can discuss later, but the other guy is dead anyway. So if you don't shoot first, then you are dead. You see, and so this notion, America is a very reptilian culture. That's why I love America, by the way, because I'm coming from France. The French culture is, I think, therefore I am. Huh?
Yeah.
And I don't do anything with it. So, they think a lot. They think a lot, but action, forget it. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's do it. What? I don't know, but let's do it.
Yeah.
Nike, just do it. What? They don't tell you. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
The priority of action, the bias for action. If you don't do anything, you're wrong. Doesn't matter.
What's a good methodology for somebody to tap into that reptilian brain, which is so important to take action?
The best thing to do is to try to understand your client's priorities. What are the priorities, you see? And so the brain, the reptilian brain, is showing you the priorities, you see? So if you can address that and take that away from their worry brain, they don't have to worry about it. That's always the best. For example, I like when people tell me, you're never going to have to worry about that. We will take care of that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. But if they tell me all the things I have to do and to check and the control, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that because that's calling my cortex, which means the other brain that is supposed to control. I don't want to control. I want to be out of the worry. I don't have to worry about that. No anxiety. I know this is taken care of, you see. And, then the reinforcement. People telling me, don't worry. You should say that to clients. Don't worry.
We actually do that. We teach selling the no worries package. This top option is called the no worries package. We take care of all the service. We take care of all the permits. We take care of everything, so you don't have to worry. So we actually do that in that way of doing it. Make sense?
You see, but then what you need is a reason to believe. If you tell me that, but then I need a reason to believe. Show me. So you have references, you have a past, you have success stories, so that is important for me to bring my confidence. Now I can, I trust you. I know this is going to be okay. You see, that's why referral is a very good thing.
Yeah.
For example, I like to go to a garage or recommended by my friends. So they say you go trust the guy. He's good. He's taking care of you. Don't worry. He's not a thief. He's not going to. So that there is this notion of friendship, if you want. But even I will go further. I think that we don't have to worry about using very strong words here. I think I think that I've done work for Boeing, for example. And at a certain time, Boeing, they were a family. They say we are a family, okay? And one day they say we're going to move to Chicago, and now we are a team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, so then they start having strikes, and then people disagree, and look at the result is terrible. You see, so family is better than a team.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the reptilian level, you have a family, or at least you have some parents that brought you to this planet and so on. Yeah. So if you are a team, if you are Gretzky, for example, a hockey guy, you can change team. One day he's in Canada, the next day he's in Los Angeles. So there is no loyalty behind the word team. But if you say we are like a family, then you don't need to say loyalty.
Mm.
This is part of it. Now, you might not want to say it, but you might want to show For example, one thing that I think is very interesting is when one of the people, one of the company that work for me, they send me a card for my birthday. Oh, all right. So it's not a joke. It's just like, okay, nice. Well, thank you. They're not selling me anything at that moment. Besides, they're telling me, well, we know your birthday and we want to wish you happy birthday. And well, for example, following up the growth of your customer. For example, a couple get married.
Yeah.
Then they have a child. Second step. Then they have a second child. Okay, third step. So you should follow them and congratulate them for each step, and then start thinking about what are the new needs that has been created by this progression.
What can be some of the significant changes in the codes depending on the age of the person we're communicating with?
You see, I've done a lot of work with old people. When I say old people, this is relative, of course, but people that are retired, for example, so on. And I was very surprised that the older these people get, the more teenagers they become.
Interesting.
You see, and I've worked for a condom company. Condom company. They were interested in retirement home because there was a recrudescence of venereal diseases.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so, wow, you see, so and when there is a new, they call a new girl arriving to the place, all the boys are crazy about the girl. So they're teenagers. We have a hard time to accept that.
Yeah.
But they are teenagers. They have different needs today because they don't have to worry about making money. They don't have to worry about this. They don't have to worry about the children. The children are gone. So they are very close to their own needs. For example, women in this dimension there, they spend so much time on the appearance. I mean, the makeup is very important for these people. The best present you can bring to a woman that is 80 or 85 is all a set of makeup products, or give them a ticket to a spa where she is going. I mean, that's what we have to understand. You see, they at the end of their life most of the time, and they say, well, let's enjoy it. Come on. For example, I'm going to be a little graphic here, but when I did the work on condoms, the guy say, I say, why don't you use condoms? Say, hey, I'm going to die anyway, so what bother? So this is again a kind of mental dimension. The adolescent, they think they are invincible.
Yes. Hey, could you tell the story about in the book, the story about the Jeep? I think this is a really good one about how the devil is in the details, I call it, like with the headlights and how that worked out. Could you tell a little story on that one?
Absolutely. You see, the code for the Jeep is like a horse. So, if you are in front of the caravan, you are in a Jeep and you go and you can go back and forth. And it's like the scout.
Yeah.
So, and then there is no top really. You can take off the doors, you're not supposed to. All that is like you are in a outdoor. It's like being on a horse, not inside of a car. You are on a horse. And the thing that is key here is when they put square headlights in front, people told me horses don't have square eyes. At the time, I had to argue with all the engineers, and they say, well, we knew you were crazy, but that far, really, you're going too far. Say, no, I'm telling you. You don't believe me? Test it. People want round headlights. And so they did several tests, and they came back and said, God, you were right. They want a round headlight. And we like it because it's cheaper to make round headlight than square headlight.
So it worked out in both good, but it worked out for better sales and it worked out for better expense. That's amazing.
Happy.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Rapaille, again, I want to say thank you for being here. Are there any other general thoughts you'd like to share before we wrap it up? I mean, I thank you so much for your precious time and giving so much to everybody. So, I mean, you've given so much, not just to the readers, but your teachings and your findings have a ripple effect throughout society. And I think definitely am so grateful for you being here. Could you give us any final thoughts before we wrap this up? I think you've given us a lot already, but to give us some final thoughts here.
Yeah, I think that because of the situation today, worldwide and in America, what we see is the incredible return of the reptilian. People are more into the reptilian, so they're more concerned about how much money they're going to spend going to the supermarket. I mean, than, long term, I don't know, the ecosystem or this is not short, reptilian is short term. So today we have a return of the reptilian. People are very concerned with short term survival. Survival can be a perception. Well, it doesn't mean you don't have any food. You have maybe too much food, but you're still in this mindset. Remember, the reptilian brain is very old, very old. So,
Yeah.
so that's what we are right now. We can see. Don't trust people. Don't trust them what they say. Oh, I bought that because it's cheaper. No, forget it. Uh, they bought it because there is a reptilian hot button here that has been touched, and so that's what is key here. People have to start thinking with the cortex. Let's give them a cheaper price and they will buy it. No. They find the reptilian hot button and then it will sell.
That's the key. Dr. Rapaille, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate you. Anybody would like to learn more about the work, what would be the best way for them to do that?
drclotairerapaille.com.
And it will be on our website on the podcast, and it will be on our website as well. Dr. Rapaille, thank you so much, and thanks for your support team and your staff and everybody who made this possible. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.